Hi, this is Reverend Sean of the Basic Buddhist and the IOBM, actually, International Order of Buddhist Ministers. You can look it up online. And my Dharma name is Dhammajivaka. If you didn't already know, you've seen some of my other videos, so I go look at the rest of them. And we're going through different parts of basic Buddhism. Basic Buddhism. Not a lot of fluff on it. We want to just kind of get to the basics of the whole thing. We went over the Four Noble Truths. Today I'm going to briefly talk about the Eightfold Path. So the Eightfold Path is the last of the Four Noble Truths. See how it gets kind of mathematical? Ugh, it drives me crazy. Early on, when you start looking into these things, it seems very repetitive. Everything's the 5 of these, the 3 of those, the 8 of these, the 8 of those. That's so that A, you could remember them easier, and 2, you could repeat them easier. So this one here, the Eightfold Path of the Four Noble Truths. Remember the Four Noble Truths we had as the first Noble Truth is the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, which is craving. The third one is the truth of the ability to get rid of the suffering and get rid of the cause through the fourth noble truth, and that's today, the Eightfold Path. So what is the Eightfold Path? Eightfold Path is really a way of living. They're not commandments by any means. They're not things given to you by somebody else. They're things that you take on yourself. So if you take them on yourself, you're taking the responsibility to make your life a better place, your life a better life, the world a better place. And if you follow these, you test them by following them. And if they don't work, well, then you have to change them or you have to look elsewhere. So, but let's go through them real quickly. The Eightfold Path. Number 1, right action. So what kind of actions are you doing? Are they correct actions? Are they reducing suffering? Are they maintaining suffering of some kind? Are they maintaining craving or greed or anger or delusion, any of those things? We look at that. Number 2, right speech. What kind of speech, what kind of talking do you do? Do you do talking that's good for people, that's bad for people, that causes suffering, that relieves suffering? Number 3, right livelihood. What kind of life do you lead? Do you run a business that causes the suffering of others? That's not right livelihood. Do you lead a business or run a business or work in a business where there's you're trying to reduce the suffering of others? Well, that's right livelihood. Makes sense, right? Number 4, right mindfulness. So how you think of things. This is a good one. Are you mindful when you do things? Are you mindful when you speak, when you have your livelihood, when you do your actions? Important to see how they build upon each other. Next one is right concentration. So what do we concentrate on? What do we practice every day? What do we practice every moment when we're breathing? What do we practice when we're thinking? Number 6, I guess. 6 here is right effort. So are you putting forth right effort, which is going to help you move on? These can be used with anything. You use them with a business. You use them with schoolwork. You can use them with your relationships. The 7th one is right view. We'll talk more about that one later. It's a little bit. Do you see things as they are? That's part of meditation. You need to make sure you get that. And then the final one is right understanding. So as you see things as they are, do you understand them for as they are? Do you understand them as being illusory, which means non-substantial, which means part of the illusion, man? I mean, most of this stuff out here is just fake. It's like a movie, okay? And it really depends on what power you give it is what it's going to give to you. Okay, that's how you're going to be all upset about things or all happy about things. So there's the Eightfold Path. Look it up, read about it more, discuss it with me if you like. Live it. It's a good way to live. So we try as best we can, right? Do what you can with what you got. That's the basics right there. So it's the Basic Buddhist, Sean Thompson. We'll talk to you later. You make a good day.